WEILONG WRM, WEILONG WR MagLev, MOYU WEILONG. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out the brand new MOYU WEILONG WR 2021 MagLev edition. So I'm pretty excited for this release because MOYU added this new MagLev system instead of the springs. So I really wanted to check it out and see how it feels and do an unboxing and some first impressions on this cube. The first thing I noticed about this box is it's very purple themed because MOYU actually went for purple internals for this cube, which is very interesting, and it gives the cube a sense of luxury. So let's try to open up this box without tearing it, which most MOYU boxes are hard to open. There we go, and let me just try to get the stuff out. We have the cube, and we have a thing you might notice is that MOYU went with a smaller accessory box with this new version of its flagship. Now, back in the olden days, MOYU would give you a bunch of useless like core adjustment things and like extra screws, springs, washers, all that stuff. And now that's all fine and dandy, but the thing is, it costs a lot more than necessary. So MOYU did with the WRM 2021 normal edition is they had a standard version with the bigger accessory box and a light version with a smaller accessory box. But now with the MagLev edition of their flagship, they only include the smaller accessory box, which I think makes a lot more sense. So first let's check out what's in this new and improved box. We have a screwdriver without a head. We have a screwdriver with a head, have a tensioning tool, cube pamphlet, and a magnet adjustment tool, as well as the little spring adjustment tool, except there are no springs anymore. And apparently we have another tensioning tool and a guide of how to use the display box. Now let's have a look at the display stand and the cube itself. I wonder if this is going to be another Gambox moment. Nope. Seems pretty easy to open, and the cube just comes out like that. We're going to be taking a look at the display stand in just a moment, but first let's check out the cube. Let's take the cube out of its packaging. And here we have it, the MOYU WRM 2021 MagLev edition. So this cube looks pretty much like any other MOYU cube. Let me get my RS3M 2020 to compare. The shades are pretty similar. The green is slightly darker on this one. Oh, orange on the other side. Oranges look the same. Reds also look the same. So I think they just pretty much use the same color shades. Now, let's do some first turns and some first impressions. So obviously it's a little sandy out of the box. The checkerboard looks amazing. It's a little bit papery, but I think that's just, I haven't broken it in a little bit, and it's getting better by the second right now. The cube feels like it's not necessarily frosted. It's like a little bit smoother than frosted plastic, but it's not like super sticky like UV either. But I think that's, again, just the matter of we just took it out of the box thing. But feeling wise, it feels different. I just can't put my finger on how. Let me do some turns off camera and let's check it out. Alright, so I just did a couple of solves. I executed a couple of algorithms on all of the sides. And it's fast. That's basically it just sums up the cube in one word. It's so fast, but oddly, it's super easy to control as well. Like, it almost feels like you're turning on nothing, but then you can also feel each turn individually. It's a really weird sensation, and it's probably due to the MagLev cores, so let's talk about that a little bit. MagLev is this new technology many cubing manufacturers have been incorporating into their cubes, and essentially what it is they're swapping out the springs for two repelling magnets. And as you can see, they basically function the same way. However, with the magnets, there are two things that the magnets are better at. First of all, there is no spring noise. Spring noise is when the spring is rubbing against either the screw or the centerpiece, and it makes a really annoying noise. Generally, it won't affect your performance as much, it just sounds bad. Another thing about the magnets that is better is speed. As I talked about, this cube has very unnatural speed, but is still controllable. And with the magnets, it's pushing the cube a little bit more. And the turning, well, it's basically turning on nothing. Let's talk about the adjustment a little bit. Here, you have the screw, so obviously it's just the standard MOYU adjustment system. You have the screw, as well as the little blue tensioning tool. The one thing that's different from most MOYU cubes is it also has a magnet adjustment. So with these little Lego sword things, you can stick it into it. They almost look like screws in the edges, and basically what you can do is put the little sword into it and then turn, and what will happen is you'll be adjusted to a different level of magnet strength. And the bad thing about this cube is I believe you actually have to adjust the top and the bottom to get the entire edge to be the same amount of magnet strength. Now let's talk a little bit about the display stand. According to MOYU, there are a lot of ways that you can use it. First of all, in order to put your cube in the first place, you can simply put it in like this, which is how the cube came. And now if you have multiple of these stands, you can actually put these stands on top of each other, as demonstrated here. And now underneath the stand, there are two little components. So you have this cube holder, and as well as this small transparent cylinder. Now what you can do with the cylinder is you can plug one end into the stand, and then one end onto the holder. Apparently there's this little notch here and a little indent on this piece. What you can do is match the indent to the notch, and then it will go in, just like that. And now when that's in place, you can simply put your cube on here. It's kind of sad that the cover doesn't go on top, but you know, you can't have everything. You can also have this piece on the stand itself without the cylinder, which would work something like this, and you can just have the cube like that. So there are a few methods that you can use a cube stand. Now let's look at some of the minor details. The corner cutting is completely effortless, and let's try reverse. Well, you don't need that much reverse corner cutting, and of course the tensions also matter a little bit in this, but both normal corner cutting and reverse corner cutting is completely effortless, and you can really experience it in the algorithms. There are basically no lockups and almost no pops. The purple internals are definitely not distracting. If you're not looking for them, you basically can't even see it. If you just look at the cube like this, except a little bit on the white side, you can't even tell it's purple. It's just a dark blackish color. But when you're actually looking at it, it looks pretty cool. When you're turning and color recognition is not really affected. So that's about it for today's video. I'm also going to be making a couple of comparisons with other cubes in the future, so stay tuned for that. But for now, if you have any questions about this cube, make sure to leave them down below in the comments. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye!